Good morning, everyone. Today is what's today's date? Today is Sunday, January 3rd, 2021. Congratulations to all of us who have officially survived what was considered a very prickly year in American history. I'm making this video because one of my resolutions for 2021 is to make more content that is more focused on authenticity and less focused on glam. Like, usually when I'm going to make a video or I'm going to be on camera, I have to get my hair done, I have to get my makeup done, I have to, make myself presentable in a certain way in order to speak to y'all. And for 2021, my mentality around that is screw that. Like, y'all are just gonna have to get used to seeing me with my hair in locks but no makeup on, talking to you directly, because I feel like the message means more than, doing things in a way that's glossy, right? I think a lot of times, perfectionist or someone like me who's a recovering perfectionist, I tend to have analysis paralysis where I'll overthink about how to do something perfectly and then I don't do it at all. And so, if basically, y'all gonna have to get used to seeing me looking like this. Anyways, the purpose of this video is because yesterday I made a post on social media, on Instagram, about how difficult or tricky it can be dating as an empath. How when you are someone who feels people's energy in ways that they probably don't realize you're picking up on them, when you are someone who is deeply intuitive, and you don't have to be an empath for this to apply to you, but when you're someone who's deeply intuitive and responds heavily to energy, it's particularly hard to, I don't want to say hard, it's particularly tricky to navigate interpersonal relationships and courtship, because we've all been socialized to be inauthentic under the guise of presenting our best selves when it comes to dating. We've all been taught that, like, if you are vibrating at a 6, pretend you're vibrating at a 9 until you get chose, right? I refuse to do that. I refuse to be inauthentic to be chosen, because I've already chosen myself. That's the plot twist, right? When you choose yourself, there's no incentive to be inauthentic to be chosen by anybody else, because the person who matters most has already chosen you. So 2020 for me, romantically speaking, was a very busy year. I was involved in several, I don't want to say situationships, but I was involved in scenarios that did not fully honor me. I started off the year in a very ambiguous dynamic with someone. And I always say that ambiguity is emotional violence, right? When you are putting someone in an ambiguous space, you're basically saying you're going to take up space from them and take up time and resources and emotional bandwidth from them without giving them the security of knowing where they stand. I perceive that to be emotional violence, energetic violence at that. So I rather have bad news than ambiguous nothing. So the year started off with ambiguity. And then out of nowhere, it turned really lovely, like a rom-com. And I got a beautiful surprise that I didn't get to hold on to very long. But the beauty of having someone for a short amount of time treat me as well as I was treated was, it was almost like the universe saying, hey, this one, you don't get to keep this one, but we need you to know that people like this are possible. People like this exist. People who could treat you like this and prioritize you like this are real. So that was lovely. It was lovely but fleeting. And then after, like, I think July, it became just a rotating spectacle of, like, various exes trying to pop back in, a couple friends dropping really lazy hints that they might be into me but not pulling the trigger. It was just annoying. I ended 2020 feeling like, romantically speaking, a lot of folks wasted my time by being cowards, right? And I wanted to talk about this topic because, number one, I understand that last year was tumultuous for a lot of folks. And so when people are feeling anxious, it's hard for them to be brave. When people are feeling less than, when your money's funny, when your family's arguing, when your job security is questionable, when you're depressed because you've been stuck in the house for a pandemic. There's a myriad of reasons why people will not their best selves, and therefore probably let that affect the way that they showed up in courtship. However, I am calling a little bit of bullshit because I was going through all that same stuff and I still showed up as best as I could for those that I cared about. And so I ended 2020 like, God, please stop sending me people who are wasting my time, right? And when I did the post about how being an empath makes it extra hard because I can smell bullshit a little bit earlier than the average bear, one of my, I don't even say an ex, a former situationship hit me up and said, was that post about me? Here's the thing. How is it that you didn't have the balls, the audacity, the wherewithal, the forthcomingness to be that clear when we were supposed to be dating? But now that I'm writing a post that technically wasn't even about you, now you want to be direct, right? And so what that told me was this person knew how to be direct. This person knew how to see a problem and address it head on, and did it when their ego was bruised because I did a post that they thought was about them. But our whole situationship, when I was asking for all those same clear communication skills, they played stupid. And so that was a wake-up call for me that I need to stop entertaining people who play stupid. If someone loves you and doesn't tell you, they don't love you enough to do something about it. If someone is into you or attracted to you but doesn't court you, they aren't attracted to you enough to court you, right? I had a friend one time tell me, yo, so-and-so likes you, but they don't like you enough. And I remember thinking to myself, that is a brilliant way to look at things. Instead of saying, does so-and-so like me? Ask yourself, forget if they like me or not. Do they like you enough to do something about it? And moving forward, when it comes to who I respond to via text, who I spend time with in my personal time, who I get emotionally attached to, I am only going to take people seriously who respect me and like me enough to actually act on it. Fuck feelings alone. Feelings by themselves mean nothing to me moving forward. I need action. And the reason why I decided to do a video about this is because a lot of my clients, today is Sunday. Sunday's the day that I usually do tarot readings, right? I have about 3 or 4 clients today. Most of my clients, when they come to me for tarot readings, it's to find out how someone feels about them because whoever they're dealing with doesn't love them enough or want them enough or isn't emotionally invested enough to just be direct. It's a pandemic. There's a different pandemic happening aside from COVID. I think a lack of clarity. I think the violence of emotional and energetic ambiguity is also a pandemic. And I rebuke it in 2021. Closed mouths do not get fed. I am not feeding anybody who does not care enough to tell me they are hungry. And that is a commitment that I'm making to myself because I realize I wasted 10 out of 12 months last year on folks who didn't love me enough, right? Yeah, and that ends now. So for all the people who have crushes on me, who've been dropping hints, I don't fucking care. If you don't like me enough to say anything about it, keep that to yourself. For all the exes who are wondering if I'm open to them coming back, the answer is no. I don't eat leftovers, not even my own. And to people who are watching this and relating on either end, if you are someone's been wasting your time, let them go. Let them go. Because there's somebody else out there who wants you enough to do something about it. And for those of you who've been wasting people's time by not being clear, cut that shit out. We're all getting too old. We just survived 2020. Did it teach you nothing? Cut that shit out. Tomorrow is not promised. And you don't know what someone's going through. And sometimes you just speaking to someone and telling them what's on your heart could make all the difference in their day. All right, let me go work out. Love y'all. Bye.